कभी कभी ऐसा होता है हमारे लाइफ में, जिसको हम एक टर्म बोलते हैं धर्म संकट। समझ नहीं आता क्या डिसीजन ले। ये भी सही दिख रहा है, वो भी सही दिख रहा है, chaos हो रखा है, कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा। सो टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस ऑन दिस इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक। आप लोग थोड़ा सा चैट बॉक्स में लिख के बताइए। लेट्स सी, कभी आप ऐसे धर्म संकट में फंसे हो क्या जिस वक्त कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा हो? ऐसा कोई सिचुएशन आपके लाइफ में आया है तो वाई लिखिए। अभी तक कभी नहीं आया है तो एन लिख के बताइए चैट बॉक्स में। मेरे पास तो आया है तो मैं वाई या यस लिख रहा हूँ मैं। तो देखते हैं थोड़ा सा लोगों का कैसा रिएक्शन रहता है। वी आर लाइव ऑन यूट्यूब राइट नाउ। सो आज तब तक मैं आज के जो हमारी गेस्ट स्पीकर है उनको मैं वेलकम करता हूँ। शी इज ऑल्सो स्टडिंग ज्योतिष फ्रॉम ज्योतिष वास्तु एकेडमी। अभी थर्ड सेम में है। एंड शी इज अ वेरी सीनियर आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग टीचर सीमा लाटकर जी, and nearly 2 decades of experience sharing the joy of meditation, wisdom, and service. Since beginning of her journey in 2002, inspired by Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar ji, she has dedicated her life to his mission. She teaches wide range of programs, including happiness programs, Sahaj Samadhi meditation, art of silence retreat, जो advanced course जिसको हम बोलते हैं, and children courses. Her sessions are heartful, insightful, deeply rooted in ancient knowledge. Having lived in New Zealand, Brisbane, now she resides in Sydney, counting her work as a seeker and a teacher. So, सीमा जी बहुत बहुत स्वागत है।
Thank
कि
you.
धर्म संकट यहाँ पे कई लोगों ने यूट्यूब में भी लिखा है कि लाइफ में कभी कभी हो जाता है, चीजें अनक्लियर हो जाती है, ब्लर हो जाती है। उससे कैसे हम निकल सकते हैं? प्लीज टेल। ओवर टू यू सीमा जी।
थैंक यू अभिषेक जी। तो आपने तो सबसे पूछा है प्रश्न। मैं खुद पूछना चाह रही थी कि थोड़ा सा मैं इंग्लिश में बात करूं तो चलेगा? लेट्स।
इंग्लिश इज फाइन।
ठीक है। सो yeah, so I'm sure we all might have faced some time in our lives, अपने ही जीवन में कभी ऐसा हुआ होगा कि your heart is saying one thing, मन कुछ और कह रहा है, mind is saying something, is expecting totally different, entirely different thing from us. है ना? तो in essence, this is called as dharma sankat, where you don't know what is the right thing to do. It is not clear to us anymore कि डिसीजन क्या ले, व्हाट इज द राइट डिसीजन टू टेक। तो आज का सेशन मैं एक स्टोरी से स्टार्ट करना चाहती हूँ। आई वुड लाइक टू स्टार्ट विद अ स्टोरी विच मेनी ऑफ अस हैव ग्रोन अप listening to it, but perhaps we've not fully reflected on the story. Okay, so this is the story from Mahabharat, the story of Ekalavya and Dronacharya. Okay, so this story, for those who have heard and for those who have not heard also, maybe I'll just narrate the story. So this is about Ekalavya and Guru Dronacharya. So there is a forest boy, a young boy. His name is Ekalavya, and he is from a tribal background. And he has this entire intense desire to learn archery. So he approaches Dronacharya, and who was at that time a royal teacher, the teacher of the Kuru princess, including Arjuna. Hmm? So Dronacharya, when Ekalavya approaches Dronacharya, he refuses to teach because he's bound by his duty to the royal family, and possibly he had his own prejudices against Ekalavya. But anyway, Ekalavya, undeterred, goes back, builds a statue of Dronacharya, and practices archery with immense devotion. And over time, he becomes so skilled that he is becomes more skilled out. Uh, he is able to out. do Arjuna skill. So when Dronacharya learns about Ekalavya's mastery on this archery, he feels so conflicted. He says, I made a promise to Arjuna, that he will be the best archer in the world. So to protect that, he demands Ekalavya's right thumb as a Guru Dakshina, and which Ekalavya gives without any hesitation. So we all know this story, right? Now, my question here to everyone is, who was right and who was wrong? Was Dronacharya wrong to ask for the thumb of Ekalavya? Or was Ekalavya wrong to firstly make Dronacharya as his guru without even his permission? And on top of that, also giving away his thumb. Nowadays, आप अगर किसी को पूछेंगे तो कहेंगे कि बेवकूफ था क्या कि अपना थंब काट के दे दिया. तो इसमें कौन सही है कौन गलत है? चैट बॉक्स में कुछ डालिए देखें. अभिषेक जी, आपके कुछ थॉट्स हो तो बताइए.
तो एक तो there are two thoughts. As a happiness course teacher, on the last day we tell this story. But when I heard this story for the first time, I thought Durnacharya. But later, it's a different story that all art of living teachers know.
हम्म.
बाकी
सो ठीक है, दे कैन बी. सॉरी, बोलिए.
बोला बाकी लोग भी पार्टिसिपेट कीजिए. देवी जी आप यस नो जो भी है लिखिए. Each according to his dharma. Arun ji is writing. Devi, you can unmute and say. Anyone wants to say, they can unmute also.
मेरे को तो सही लगा गुरु दक्षिणा में. ये तो बात ठीक ही लगा.
बढ़िया बढ़िया. चलिए ठीक है. दो दो पर्सपेक्टिव्स हो सकते हैं इसमें. सेट ऑफ पीपल में से दैट द्रोणाचार्य वाज रॉन्ग टू आस्क फॉर एकलव्य's thumb. कैसे पूछ लिया? इतना इतना कठोर और क्रूर कैसे थे वो? तो द्रोणाचार्य कहते हैं, टीचर कहते हैं. So, someone may say that Dronacharya was wrong to ask Ekalavya's thumb. Yeah, it was emotionally, it feels unfair, isn't it? Ekalavya had never harmed Arjuna. He simply became the best archer by his own effort. But if we look at Dronacharya's position, he was a Kulguru, appointed by and trained by the royal family. Okay. And he had taken a vow to make Arjuna the best archer. Guru rin कहते हैं ना, like debt of honor. So Dronacharya wasn't just a teacher; he was a political strategist at that time. So was it morally ideal to ask for someone's thumb? Maybe not. But was he acting according to his dharma, his swadharma, his personal duty as a royal guru? Possibly yes, isn't it? Yes. So sometimes dharma, now there are few, pause points, and it'll be good to reflect on this. Dharma sometimes isn't what feels good, but perhaps it is what sustains the larger commitment, when we look at the bigger picture. And let's take the other perspective. Let's flip the coin. Yeah, we'll say someone says, a perspective that Ekalavya was wrong, first of all, to build a statue of Dronacharya without his permission. A guru disciple at that time, a guru disciple relationship is so sacred, and in our tradition, it is formed by consent, by blessing, by formal initiation of a guru. Yeah, but Ekalavya's devotion, he didn't even seek permission, made Dronacharya his guru, but his devotion was so much, it was self-declared. Dronacharya never accepted him as a student. He said, go away, I'm not going to teach you. But so we can argue that by traditional standards, it wasn't right, Ekalavya, to make Dronacharya his guru. But Dharma, if you know and understand a little bit, have a context to it, it's also about the intention. Was Ekalavya in this entire story, was he trying to defy Dronacharya? No, he revered him too much, isn't it? He saw Dronacharya as his guru. And also in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, no, somewhere that whatever you offer with love and devotion, I accept it. So Ekalavya's devotion was real. So by that standards, Ekalavya was not wrong. Mm. So in the whole story, if we look at it, Dronacharya kept his promise to Arjuna by asking for the thumb, and Ekalavya honored his self-made guru by giving away the thumb. But still लगता है कि दोनों ने अपने अपने धर्म से ठीक ही किया, but somewhere something feels off, isn't it? कुछ ठीक नहीं लगता है क्या? So आप कुछ कहना चाहते हैं अभिषेक जी?
There is also a very popular story among the art of living community, which everyone knows, but still there is a different perspective. Like Dronacharya did this thing because he wants to make Ekalavya famous. Otherwise, no one would know Ekalavya. So
हाँ, ये गुरुदेव ने साइलेंस कोर्स में बताया है.
yes, and that's very famous. Every end of the happiness program, we say the same thing. Yes.
या बट अगर देखा गया हम और आप someone who hasn't heard the story at all, they'll look at it and it's so cruel, or they'll say, oh, this is. तो हम एक परसीव्ड एक जजमेंट भी बनाते हैं इन सारा स्टोरी का अपने अपने पर्सपेक्टिव से, isn't it? Yes. So that brings us to a few questions, I would say. So first question is dharma always about fairness? Hmm? Or is it about authenticity to one's roles, one's own role, my own values, or my inner truth? Is that what dharma is? And the third question I want to ask is dharma always about black and white? This is right and this is wrong. Is it that, or is it about the intent, the context, the role? Something to think of. Yeah, so this is the signature of Dharma Sankat, morally correct or not. And it's not clear. So how do we know, now coming to our topic, how do we know what is our dharma in any situation? How can I live without taking a decision without confusion and regret? So today we'll explore what dharma is in the essence, and there is an ancient text in that there is there is a verse which explains or the 10 qualities of dharma. So this verse is, Sanskrit mein hai, I'll read out this verse. It says, Dhriti Kshama Dama Asteyam Shaucham Indriya Nigraha Dhi Vidya Satyam Akrodha Dashakam Dharma Lakshanam. So these are the 10 qualities of dharma, and let's briefly touch on these 10 qualities. What do you say? To understand a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So the first is dhriti. Dhriti is translates to that inner resolve, resolute inner strength. So the ability to hold on to the dharma even if the going gets tough. We have a saying, in English, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Yeah. So that is dhriti. So dhriti means holding. Dhra means holding or sustaining. So why is dhriti important in dharma? Because you know what is right sometimes, but do you have the courage to stick to it even when you are tempted? Hmm? Or, are you able to persist even when things seem unfair? And the other thing is, are you able to commit to your values? You have strong values, but are you able to commit to it when you see it's not bringing any reward to you? That is where dhriti comes. Okay. Because without dhriti, then the dharma becomes very seasonal. So it's like you're just blowing with the wind. वो कहते हैं ना, जहाँ हवा चली वहां पे हम भी मुड़ गए, जहाँ हवा चली वैसे. तो अगर धृति ना हो तो ऐसे हो जाता है. So that is why dhriti is a very important quality to have. And when you have that, then your ability to take a decision and stick to it becomes unshakable. Yeah. And Gurudev has also said that dhriti is not like stubbornness, it is like a quiet strength that comes from your inner self, from your core. So that is dhriti. Then the second is kshama. Kshama is translates to forgiveness or, forbearing, not forbearing actually, forgiveness. Yeah. So Shama is the ability to forgive even when someone has wronged you. किसी ने आपके साथ कुछ गलत भी किया हो तो क्षमा करने की एबिलिटी हो, forgive करने की एबिलिटी हो, without reacting and without vengeance. नहीं तो हम, you did this to me and then we come reacting with a lot of, vengeance in our hearts. There's a lot of hatred in our hearts, a lot of grudge. But Kshama is a quality where, you give others space to grow and to yourself also, not to others. You are able to, Kshama is forgiveness towards yourself also if you've done something wrong. Yeah, so it really means enduring, allowing, absorbing, like the earth, we do so much injustice to the earth, whatever we're doing now. And then, but still it holds on the pain and it's still giving life. So like that, Shama is that quality. So why is Shama important in this whole dharma, this thing? It is because you'll find when there is dharma sankat or when there is right and wrong choices, sometimes usually the choice is also forgiveness. Can I move forward without being bitter? Yeah. So that is why Shama is so important. It, Gurudev has said that, when Shama is not for the other person, you're not forgiving for them, but for yourself, because you become free. Then you don't hold on to any hurt that blocks your inner light. So that is Shama. Okay. Then the third quality to that's important to have is Dhamma. Dhamma, I am sure a lot of people would have heard, those who have done the silence program. Gurudev speaks about it in the 4 pillars of knowledge. So it is a conscious restraint over an impulsive desire, So you turn your senses inwards and you don't have that, you're not being pulled by cravings, attachments, reactions. And this is important. Why Dhamma is important? Because imagine you're trying to hold on to this truth and that compassion, justice, but while being consumed by lust, anger, and greed. Can you hold on to it? No, right? If you're so consumed by anger, where is Dhamma? Greed, lust, all of these. So Dhamma is that inner discipline that allows you to make the right choices as per Dharma. So that is the third quality. The fourth one is Asteyam. Asteyam literally means non-stealing, but it's not the physical theft. It is even this also, Gurudev has also said this, that it's even that small intention to steal even in thought or a desire. You see, किसी को देख लिया बढ़िया सा कार में जा रहे हैं, या फिर किसी के कोई गुरुदेव के पास बहुत क्लोज है, बड़ा समय मिल रहा है, तो कहीं माइंड में आ जाते कि मुझे भी, आई ऑल्सो वांट दैट दैट द पर्सन हैज. Even that slightest, even in the thought, that is, or the a desire in the heart, that is also uh, called stealing. So astyam is non-stealing. And how does this come? I mean, see, non-stealing also means not stealing someone's time, not taking credit for the things that aren't yours, no, not taking others' ideas or effort and or even attention unfairly, and not even desiring that is not rightfully earned by me. So that is ask them that, and that is important for being in dharma, because without that, even the clever people can become so dangerous. Yeah. And this astem comes naturally when you feel a sense of abundance, fulfillment, contentment जब है अंदर अपने जीवन में, तो आस्तेम का कोई स्कोप नहीं है वहां पे. देयर इज नो स्पेस फॉर दैट. So far, is it going okay? I'm going, yes, okay, बढ़िया. ठीक है. So then next comes the fifth is shaucha. Shaucha is purity. So, what is purity? The purity is very deeply rooted in a spiritual tradition. It emphasizes purity, not just physical purity, but purity of the heart, of the mind, of the emotions, and our intentions also. Yes. And how we can get this purity? When we let go of clear that clutter of ego, desires, attachments, doubts. That brings a lot of clarity also. And why is purity important? Shuddhi, purity, shocham. Why is important in the context of dharma? Because if your heart is weighed down by all these material desires and this ego and all of that, it doesn't allow your mind to settle down. It doesn't allow your mind to be at peace. And that stillness of the mind is so essential because it gives you that room for introspection. And when you introspect, then you are able to take the right decision. So that is why purity or shaucha, कहते हैं ना, that is important. So this is the fifth one. The sixth quality is Indriya Nigraha. Indriya Nigraha means not being agitated by sense inputs. Let it reacting is the next step, but first internally not getting agitated. For example, say we are scrolling the social media, okay, Instagram or whatever, Facebook, and suddenly you see a post that upsets you so much. So person without Indriya Nigraha will instantly react or may become angry or jealous. But with Indriya Nigraha, you breathe, reflect, and then you respond with balance, or you don't respond at all. Not necessary to respond even. So that is Indriya Nigraha. Why is that important in the context of dharma? Because if your senses are getting agitated very easily, then your ground is very shaken. It can give root to adharma. Yeah. So what Indriya Nigraha does, it protects your ability to that discernment, we say, no, ability to decipher a situation without being impulsive. Mm. For also another example maybe I can give is when you hear your praises, how the ego comes up suddenly. But when you hear your insult, how we start to retaliate or give back. कैसे मुझे कह दिया ये ऐसे, like that. तो but जब इंद्रिय निग्रह रहेगा तो you are calm. And then dharma is easy to follow because you're not emotionally reactive, you're not impulsive, and you're not making choices out of uh, that is leading to gratification. So that is indriya nigraha. The seventh is dhi. Dhi means literally it means intellect. But okay, an intellect with full of clarity, because without clarity, how will you know, first of all, what is the right thing to do or not? All this is, fine, dhamma, indriya nigraha, and all that we discussed. But if I don't even know what is the right thing to do, how am I going to make a decision? How am I going to take an action? So, the is that faculty that tells you that this may be difficult, what I am going to do, but it is the right thing to do. Or it'll tell you, this looks good, but it violates my values, so I'm not going to do it. That clarity comes with the right, the clarity of intellect. And with that, you're also able to filter the truth from the noise. So there's so much noise around us, we are able to see through that. And it gives you that strength to stand alone if necessary for what's right. सारी दुनिया एक जगह, मैं एक जगह, because I know that this is the right thing to do. That ability it gives you. Yeah. And then also we know that with a foggy mind, any decision you take is not going to be the right decision, possibly. That is why the is so important. Hmm. So then we come to the next one, which is the eighth quality is Vidya. Vidya means it's true knowledge. So dharma, to walk the path of dharma, you need to know, right? Knowledge जरूरी है, कोई चीज का ज्ञान जरूरी है. Just intention अच्छी हो, but पता ही नहीं है कि इसका, I don't even know what my action is going to lead to. Why is my mind working the way it's working? Yeah. Or what causes suffering to others? That knowledge helps you to follow the dharma or take the decision in align with dharma. So you're able to see yourself clearly, understand others also deeply, and you are able to make the right choice without any confusion. So that is Vidya. Yeah. And the ninth one is Satyam. Satyam means truth. And I think Satyam is really the spine of Dharma. And why this is important? Because if you're not truthful, Satya means truthful. If you're not truthful, a dharmic person, I mean, uh, it leads to adharma because you will start manipulating with half truth. You'll fake your identities to please others, or you'll, distort the truth for your gain. So that becomes not in line with dharma. So satyam, truthfulness, is very important. So it is like even in confusion, it is the satyam, the truthfulness that shows us the way. Even if it's uncomfortable, I know what is, the truth, and I take the decision in that way. And the last one is akrodha. Akrodha means absence of anger. And why this is important in dharma? Because if you take decisions in a space of with anger, then you're reacting from not from wisdom. In a moment of rage, even a dharmic person may slip into adharma. Yeah. Even this anger makes you speak so harshly that you break your relationships, and there's a lot of karmic consequences when you take a decision in space of anger. So akrodha protects dharma by ensuring that our actions are rooted in compassion. Yeah. Even Gurudev has said that of weakness, when you become angry, you are actually not so strong. You feel helpless. So akrodha comes naturally for the person who has contentment and awareness. A lot of awareness is required for this. Okay, so these are the 10 qualities of dharma that have been uh, uh, sort of explained in that verse that I read earlier, which is from our ancient text. Okay. So now we come to a point where how do I live these qualities? Isn't it? You wanna know? ये सब तो 10 क्वालिटीज तो समझ लिए, बट इसको कैसे इम्बाइब करना है हमारे में? गुड क्वेश्चन टू आस्क. यस. सो my teacher, my revered teacher and my Jyotish guru Ashutosh Chawla ji, he beautifully puts it. He says that when you practice Sudarshan Kriya, what happens is your breath returns to its natural rhythm, and when your breath is in the rhythm, your life automatically aligns with dharma, which I think would be these 10 qualities. Yeah. So you begin to understand what is right, not just for yourself, but for others, for the world. Yeah. And then those who have done the happiness program, done the Sudarshan Kriya, you know that you begin to cultivate this dhi, the ability to decipher properly, develop dhamma, indriya nigraha, and you can let go of anger, much better than what you used to be if you're practicing your kriya every day. You're able to forgive people, strengthen your dhi. And those who have done the happiness program, and those who have done the silence course, advanced course जिसको कहते हैं इंडिया में, the silence course, it takes you so deep that you're not just, it's dharma is not just some list of qualities, but it gets so deeply rooted. It's like I would say this with the Sudarshan Kriya, the seed starts growing, and then with the advanced course, this seed becomes like a big grown tree, very deeply rooted in the core. So that is what can help us live these qualities of dharma. So to conclude, I would say in life also, there will be situations, like we said, where the mind is saying something, heart is saying something, society is saying something. And in this moments of dharma sankat, this ethical dilemma, we can call it, or feeling paralyzed, this reminds me actually a shloka, from the Bhagavad Gita, where it says something on the lines of, it is better to follow your own dharma imperfectly than to follow someone else's dharma perfectly. That is the concept of swadharma. Have you heard of this, swadharma? Your unique duty, your path, that is your dharma. And when you are aligning with your dharma, swadharma, you honor your inner voice. अंदर से एक जब आवाज आएगी, this is the thing to do, then you cut through that outer noise. Yeah, that swadharma, when you align to that, and then you do not act with what is convenient or popular, but what is true. And also, you will not live for validation from others, but you live from an inner conviction. I know this is the thing for me. This is the thing to do. This is the, thing to do for the larger good. So that awareness you get when you do, when you are aligned or with your dharma, which is called the swadharma. Yes. So one other thing I want to, close this entire sort of wrap up this concept of dharma, that when we see things outside, like we people for the way they're living their life, the way what actions they have taken, and that sense of judgment, that lens, that glasses we wear. But be reminded that what seems right for one may appear wrong to another person, or what we judge as someone's failure sometimes might be actually their courage, yeah, or what looks like someone's weakness from outside, it may be something uh, s- uh, born out of compassion. Yeah. So I would also say that be very careful not to judge others too quickly, because this dharma and everyone perhaps may be acting according to their swadharma, their own dharma. Yeah. And where Ekalavya's story was a perfect example, where Dronacharya wasn't wrong, Ekalavya wasn't wrong, but both were playing their own roles, bound by the context and their duty. Yes. So before you judge, ask yourself, do I know their whole story? And could there be another perspective to this entire thing? Yeah. So that's all I have to share today, Abhishek ji. I hope it was an
One
insightful.
thing, I just really appreciate that this qualities of dharma is something which is the sole desire also that we need to follow when we have got the human birth. And you have
Absolutely.
beautifully put out all the things. बहुत अच्छे से सबके सामने लाए. Uh, we would like to know your journey also, because sometimes you have also been in Dharma Sankat in your journey. If you want to share some of your life story, it will be great.
Yes, actually, I picked up this topic because in my life, I came in there was a situation where I didn't know what decision to take. It seemed so unclear. And any decision I would have taken would have been not either good for myself. See, there are two choices, okay, A and B. अगर मैं A करती तो शायद मेरे लिए ठीक नहीं होता, अगर मैं B करती तो उसके लिए ठीक नहीं होता, तो क्या करें? So that's when I started हमारे ज्योतिष क्लासेस में आशुतोष जी ने एक बार कहा था कि दिस धर्मा टॉपिक केम अप, एंड उन्होंने बोला जाके आप स्टडी कीजिए धर्म लक्षणम, दशकम धर्म लक्षणम. So that's when I went and did a lot of contemplation, research, understood, and I thought, what I understood, it might help someone out there to take अंडरस्टैंड कि कभी शायद ऐसे भी हो सकता है कि आप जो डिसीजन लो शायद आपके लिए ठीक हो बट दूसरे के लिए गलत हो, बट अपने स्वधर्म से एक्ट कर रहे हो या नहीं, वहां पर इज द की एक्चुअली.
बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग एक चीज आता है इन ज्योतिष बाकी अब इज कौन सा प्लैनेट कौन से पदा में है. किसी का
हाँ,
बहुत ज्यादा एक एक पदा में बहुत सारे प्लैनेट्स आ रहे हैं, लाइक 1111. So they are born to establish dharma and philosophies, maintain the lineage. तो ये ज्योतिष में भी काफी सारी चीजें पता लगती है. बट
बिल्कुल.
ये है कि this when we are following our dharma, actually, I guess the soul is getting free from the karmic baggage. Means the
Absolutely.
karmic baggage में कई बार it's like sometimes when we have followed the dharma also, but still there is an imprint in our mind or our memory, I can say. For example, मुझे किसी को निकालना है जॉब से.
हम्म.
It's and the whole family is dependent on the person's job. तो एक तरीके से तो उसका कर्मा मेरे ऊपर आया ही, because uh, means he is now no more in the organization, but still I have to do it because I need to do the cost cutting, I need to see the profit and everything. So in that case, is the karma role plays because I have hurted someone. You told we need to see the bigger cause, but still there is some kind of a thing which is there because somewhere or the other I have done something wrong.
See, that's where the intention comes, right? You look at the intent. Were you, किसी का जॉब आप ये कर रहे हो बिकॉज आपको उसके बारे में कुछ गलत है, आप उसको पसंद नहीं करते या आप उससे जेलस हो, इज दैट द रीजन और व्हाट इज द इंटेंशन? तो दैट इंटेंट बिहाइंड योर एक्शन इज व्हाट इज द की। तो अगर आपका इंटेंशन हो कि अब कंपनी इज नॉट परफॉर्मिंग वेल, इट इज कैनॉट अफोर्ड to keep this person in the job and therefore I have to take this decision, then you are clear कि मेरे मन में इसके लिए कोई गलत फीलिंग्स नहीं है, बट दिस इज माय रोल, इन माय रोल एज अ मैनेजर आई नीड टू टेक दिस एक्शन। सो दैट इज व्हाई इट्स वेरी कॉन्टेक्चुअल, हम कह ही नहीं सकते बैठ के कि ये सही है ये गलत है। ऐसे करेंगे तो बिल्कुल ही गलत ही हो जाएगा सब कुछ। बाहर से देख के नहीं कह सकते, वो पर्सन के लिए आप उस रोल में हो, आप कि आपको क्या करना है। आप तो दैट इज वाई ये क्वालिटीज इनर क्वालिटीज है, और ये आपको वो क्लैरिटी देगी कि कौन सा डिसीजन लेना है। एंड देन डोंट नो दैट यूर टेकन द डिसीजन एज पर माई, डोंट रिग्रेट एंड डोंट हैव एनी कंफ्यूजन देन। तो बड़ा क्लैरिटी है तो कंफ्यूजन का सवाल ही नहीं उठता फिर वहां पे, है ना, लाइक दैट।
But still, in this situation, like if the fault is mine because of my mistake, the company has done something wrong, and now I need to take a corrective action. So, just to save my family, I'm putting a blame on someone else. In that case, I'm saving my family, but that's a dharma.
या सो सी, जस्टिस वर्सेस कंपैशन, या फिर कैसे क्या।
Because it happens in all the corporate offices. People don't want the ball in their court. वो
सी,
transfer करते ही
that is what I'm saying. You and I cannot take a scenario and say that ऐसा सिनारियो है, इसमें क्या डिसीजन लेना चाहिए। वो हम डिसाइड नहीं कर सकते, बिकॉज जो पर्सन उस पोजीशन में है उसको कॉन्टेक्स्ट पता है, और उसको अंदर से आवाज आएगी, he'll get his inner voice will say what is the right thing to do when you are, these qualities are there rooted in you। डिसीजन हम नहीं कह सकते, हम नहीं कह सकते कि ये गलत है या ये सही है, या ये करना चाहिए या वो करना चाहिए। वी कैनॉट, बिकॉज इट्स वेरी वेरी पर्सनल, वेरी स्व, तभी तो स्वधर्म का कॉन्सेप्ट है ना। जो आपका, आपको लगता है आपका धर्म है वो आप करो,
Hmm.
लाइक दैट। जैसे सिनारियोज आजकल बहुत ऐसे भी है कि देर आर एजिंग पेरेंट्स इन इंडिया, बट समवन's got a very good job in the foreign land and they want to go, but अगर बाहर से कोई दिखेगा तो कहेगा ओ सो बैड, दे लीविंग देयर एजिंग पेरेंट्स एंड गोइंग। बट अनदर पर्सपेक्टिव देखोगे तो उनके बच्चे हैं, छोटी फैमिली है, तो उनके लिए फ्यूचरिस्टिक दे आर थिंकिंग। सो हाउ डू यू डिसाइड व्हाट इज राइट व्हाट इज रॉन्ग? हम कैसे कह सकते हैं, बताओ।
Hmm. Right.
बाहर से बैठ के तो हम नहीं कह सकते, इट्स नॉट, इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू जज लाइक दैट।
Hmm.
और करना भी गलत है, जज किसी के एक्शंस को बाहर से देख के करना, इसने ये बहुत बुरा किया, इसने ये गलत किया, दैट इज नॉट द वे टू, दैट्स नॉट द पर्सपेक्टिव हाउ वी शुड लुक एट थिंग्स।
आई थिंक इसको ऐसे बोल सकते हैं क्या कि उसका प्रभाव हमारे मन और हमारे थॉट्स पे आना नहीं चाहिए।
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल। एक्चुअली दैट रिमाइंड्स मी, हमारे एक सीनियर टीचर ने, कहाँ पे मैंने सुना था याद नहीं है, बट स्वभाव प्रभाव और अभाव के बारे में बताया था ना।
हम्म,
एग्जैक्टली व्हाट यू सेइंग। अपने स्वभाव से आप जब करोगे चीजें तो कंफ्यूजन नहीं रहेगी और गिल्ट नहीं रहेगा। हम्म,
राइट एंड आई गेस ये चीज बहुत वो होता है, like guilt and victim, ये भाव
हम्म
लोग के अंदर आ ही जाता है when we are facing the world challenges and all. कभी गिल्ट आ जाएगा कि ऐसा क्यों हो गया, मेरे को
हम्म
गलत कर दिया, कभी विक्टिम आ जाएगा कि दुनिया बहुत बेकार है।
बिल्कुल इससे, और अगर इसमें फंस जाएंगे तो स्पिरिचुअल जर्नी में बाद इट्स एन ऑब्स्टेकल, यू नो,
हम्म।
guilt, regret, all these is an obstacle in your spiritual जर्नी। और एक भी है कि इस सारे इसमें डिसीजन जब ले रहे हैं तो दो चीजें, एक वन इज इट अपलिफ्टिंग यू, ये डिसीजन लेने के बाद यू फील अपलिफ्टेड, एंड इज इट रूटेड इन कंपैशन, ये दो चीजें भी आती है इसमें। क्योंकि कभी कभी मैंने ये भी सुना है कि मुझे कोई कह रहे थे, अच्छा आप स्वधर्म के बारे में कहते हो, धर्म के बारे में कहते हो, फिर तो टेररिस्ट ऑल्सो आर एक्टिंग अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर स्वधर्म, दे थिंक दैट दे आर डूइंग द राइट थिंग फॉर देयर रिलीजन, बट इज दैट rooted in compassion, their action? The clear answer is no. It's rooted in anger and hatred. So that's how also you can see whether an action, a decision is rooted in dharma or not.
Because of intention itself, we can crack this game of birth and death, because it's very tricky. Every time when we are taking birth, वही सारी चीजें कर रहे हैं और कुछ हमारे desires बच जाते हैं लास्ट में, which tends us to give a new birth. The new cycle goes on again and again. And
Yes.
as you told कि पेरेंट्स का ख्याल रखे, बच्चे का ख्याल रखे, ये सारी चीजें करें, do you think that the person from inside should be a sannyasi after certain age to get rid of all the things? Obviously, we need to follow the responsibilities, but still, when we are in the parents को देखे, इसको देखे, we are trapped somewhere or the other. What do you want to say about it?
See, what I have heard Gurudev say that sannyas is not, sannyas is in the mind. It is not going away somewhere in seclusion. So in your mind, it is that sense of no craving, no desire, no attachment, all those things. That is important. Uh, that is real sannyas actually.
Actually, like the people, मैं बहुत सारे एडवांस कोर्सेज में गया हूँ, वहाँ पे कुछ लोग होते हैं, दे आर डूइंग द 30th एडवांस कोर्स, 30th एडवांस कोर्स, and they are doing it very easily because somewhere or the other they know this fact that I'm not the doer, everything will happen in their own. And जो लोग शायद इसको पकड़ के रहते हैं कि कैसे संभलेगा, कैसे होगा, आई हैव सो मेनी थिंग्स, वो अभी तक एडवांस कोर्स एक या दो ही कर पाते हैं. That's my observation. I don't know, but this world is a trap, I guess, somewhere or the other. It traps you so hard that until and unless we don't watch these sessions, uh, it's very hard and difficult to come out of the Maya it creates around.
Yes, that's why Gurudev keeps saying, be in knowledge, be in knowledge. ज्ञान में रहो. तो that is important. जब ज्ञान में रहेंगे तब everything will fall in place. You'll do the right things.
There's one question I want to ask. Obviously, it's subjective and all, but still, I want to know your philosophy about money, because there's a big debate around. Like, you should be content. If your family is content, everything, you should not unnecessarily trap yourself in this making more thing. Someone says no, when you are in this world, you should reach the top. You should see the world from the height and everything. So, what's your philosophy on money?
Well, it's not just money. I think anything in life you can achieve, you should have a aim, you should have a goal, a higher aim, whether it be materialistic, spiritual, whatever it is, but without any feverishness behind it. That is the key. So I can have a goal of having $1 million in my bank account yeah, 1 million is too less, but say whatever in rupees, whatever इतने करोड़ मुझे चाहिए मेरे बैंक अकाउंट में. I can have that goal, why not? But am I so feverish about it, and that ambition is killing my peace of mind? Then that's not the way. You know, I can have a goal, I can work towards it. Why not? As long as I am still content, happy, peaceful, that is important.
Uh, but आज ही मेरे पास एक क्वेश्चन आया था, very interesting question.
Hmm.
He was saying me, oh, I'm very worried. Like some astrologer told me, my daughter means her daughter is having a debilitated moon in her
Hmm.
chart, but she is doing very well in her career, but she has debilitated moon and everything. So I guess there will be some losses also in this. Like दोनों हाथ में लड्डू हो सकते हैं क्या? The person who is very contented and still he is taking out time to do all these things, because we see somewhere or the other कुछ planets exalted होते हैं, अच्छे होते हैं, तो कुछ planets गलत placed भी होते हैं chart में.
हम्म. वो तो है
अब
अभी. हाँ,
तो
बोलिए
इसको
बोलिए.
कैसे हम देखें, क्योंकि वो तो आएगा ही. वी वांट टू अचीव कि सारे प्लैनेट्स एग्जॉल्टेड हो चार्ट में, सब केंद्र में हो, ज्यादा 11th हाउस में हो, 9th हाउस विच आर गुड हाउसेस. बट कैसे उस चीज को घबराए नहीं, कैसे वो देखे कि यस आई हैव समथिंग नेगेटिव आल्सो.
वो तो अब हमने और आपने ज्योतिष पढ़ा है, उसमें तो हमें पता ही है कि देर आर सर्टन थिंग्स. वो दृढ़ कर्म अदृढ़ कर्म कहते हैं ना, जो कर्म आने हैं, द थिंग्स दैट यू हैव टू go through, you'll have to go through. Some can be avoidable. Yes, some can be partially avoidable. So I think there's nothing to be afraid of. This is like, it's a coming in this human form is, and in this world is, it's like a training institution, they say, no? So you come here, you learn, unlearn, and in that process, you go through a few things here and there. डंडे पड़ेंगे, कुछ होगा, थोड़ा सा पेन होगा, सफरिंग होगा, ये सब होगा. You just go through it and learn and unlearn whatever you need to. I think that's the essence of it. और जब गुरु है साथ में, गुरुदेव हैं, तो फिर he says, no, Gurudev, he says, you just sit in the cart. I am pulling the cart. Bas stay on this journey. That's all we need to do, I think. And I think we should not even have this question in our mind when we have Guru in our life.
Wow.
जो भी होगा अच्छा होगा, वो करेंगे, उनको उनको पता है.
I said the same thing, like don't worry if someone is having guru in their life.
Yeah.
When we are in knowledge, I guess it's a big thing. I'd
Yes.
like to tell everyone who are watching, Gurudev have spoken so much on uh, this knowledge part, and it's all there in the Art of Living app also. Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Dharam Bhakti Sutra, Shiv Sutra, many things he have said. Sometimes it is important that we discuss these things. We see it and we discuss. It brings a lot of clarity. And Seema ji, this session is really very enlightening. The way you have break down all the uh, things which is there in dharma, बहुत मजा आया. बाकी यहाँ पे जो लोग आए हैं उनको कुछ पूछना है, कुछ कहना है, so you can unmute yourself. Swarna didi, you want to say something?
आज मैं लेट आई ना, तो एकदम सब कुछ थोड़ा 10-15 मिनट से ही सुन रही थी. बहुत
हाँ.
इंटरेस्टिंग लग रहा था बातें. तो बहुत अच्छा लग रहा था सीमा जी और अभिषेक का
Yeah.
वार्तालाप. अच्छा लग रहा था. पूरा सुन पाई नहीं, सत्संग गई थी.
बढ़िया.
So मैं सभी लोगों को बोलूंगा, just follow your dharma and do share this session, because as a volunteer and teachers who are watching, doing seva is our dharma. So let the knowledge flow. Do share this session to all the people whom you know, and इस चैनल को भी सब्सक्राइब करो. हम लोग ऐसे ही सेशंस रोज करते हैं. We are doing it continuously, and कल बहुत जन रक्षाबंधन मनाएंगे 8th 9th अलग अलग कंट्रीज के हिसाब से. सो हैप्पी रक्षाबंधन इन एडवांस टू ऑल ऑफ यू. सीमा जी, जाने से पहले any last message you want to give to all the people who are watching?
Sorry, what was that, Abhishek ji?
Any last message you want to give to all the people who are watching?
I would just say, अभी जो हमने बोला, so Gurudev is there. He has given all these tools, techniques, courses. तो आप बस करिए सब कुछ. गुरुदेव है, उनका ग्रेस है, blessing is there. But we also have to do our effort. So make sure, you do your Kriya, your sadhana every day. Take the silence course, advanced course every 3 to 4 months, whenever possible. And I think everything is set. Otherwise, don't have to worry much.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Seema ji, for coming.
Thank you so much. It was such a joy, Abhishek ji, to be here. Thank you, everyone.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.